Okay, so welcome everyone to this next session. Really excited to be here. We've got a new format that we, want to share with you how this is going to be running from this week onwards, and we've got a lot to cover. I mean, we're going to be talking about the core team updates, ecosystem, and then we'll be touching on some points from the news as well. Some recent happenings. So it's going to be quite a rich session. This one. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let's get started. So first, this new format. Basically, to summarize it, we're gonna touch on SSV tech. We'll be talking about grants, proposals, ETH industry, and then staking news. And then at the end, we'll also have some time for people to have a Q&A session as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just changing it up a bit more informational, making it a more conversation. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So Shaun, what do we have up first? So let me have a look. So first up, we're going to cover SSV Tech. So just to give you guys all an update where we are in the rollout, we are still in the pre-launch, which means that we are on mainnet, but the testing is all up to the mainnet, to the core team. So we're all the testing is done. Shaun, can you hear me, Shaun?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry. So in terms of what the updates, where we are, we're just still testing, moving things forward, and we're progressing very quickly to the next stage. So I think in the next few weeks we're gonna have some big announcements coming out.
For sure. So yeah, let's keep everyone updated as we go on. But for the moment, we're still checking a few things, and we actually at the end we have a bit of a bonus just to share with the community, which I personally think is a really cool thing. So Shaun?
Yeah, so the next one is, as I said before, in the last session, we are growing. We've got new people coming on board all the time. Things are just moving to the next level, and it's almost like every other day, right? It's like a new person joining the team. It's awesome, and we're happy to give a shout out to the newest team member called Phoebe. Phoebe will be involved in talent acquisition. So hello, Phoebe. We're happy to have you on board, and we're looking forward to working with you. Seeing your contribution.
For sure. I mean, as the team grows, as we continue expanding, we're definitely going to need someone to find us that top tier talent. All right.
Yeah.
Congrats to Phoebe. Speaking about growth, one of the we've seen some really good growth on our socials, especially when we look towards Twitter. Amit, one of our community managers, has been doing an amazing job. In the last month, we've grown about 6,000 people on our Twitter, and same for Discord. We've grown about 6,500 people in the last month. I think it's really cool considering, we're gearing up for going live and the permissionless launch and everything. These are our two main channels that we communicate on. So, if you want to stay up to date and receive DVT Alpha, stay on board and follow. And check out those channels because we do share a lot of important information on there.
What I find impressive about this growth as well is that we're looking at about 30% growth in the past month, because now we're at just under 20,000 Discord members, right? And we're growing 6,500 a month, right? It's massive, right? We're having a lot of success, and the Twitter campaign. I think a lot of success over the past month came from the Oat, the Galaxy Oat as well. That was very successful, and we'll be doing more in the future. So keep a watch out for that.
Right.
Let's should we move over to the ecosystem updates then?
So since we last spoke, there have been 3 accepted grants. We'll run through them to just give you guys a brief overview of what's happening. So firstly, we have Karma, very cool, grants accepted a few days ago, and what they're building is a delegate dashboard. Very, very cool stuff. So the delegate dashboard is basically to help improve DAO governance, between getting more information around that, token holders and community, to give more visibility to these different parties and people who actively take part in the DAO by creating and discussing and voting on proposals. If you want to check out the details, the finer details, have a look at our forum at the SSV DAO. You'll see it's a pretty recent proposal. And I think it's quite a cool initiative. I think as we move into mainnet, it's important for the community to get more involved and, for us to understand who are the people that are involved. And I think this is a very good platform to help us do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for what I read is what I noticed is like 3 parts, 3 steps. You got the index and contribution, so taking, data from snapshot voting and the forum and that. There's the contribution scoring and then the insights and delegation. So I think this could really, bring a lot of data together and really help the community to have a greater impact, on what's actually happening. So yeah, sounds like an awesome opportunity there. The next one is SSV in Punkila. So this one is, let me just check where my notes. Okay, so it's about an operating system called Homestaker OS. Excuse me. And basically, from what I gather, this is like a staking software, and they are aiming to sort of integrate SSV within that, and that's going to make it easier to onboard people. Like home stakers, to then just quickly set up their nodes with through SSV and get started, basically.
As far as I understand, also it's like when you're installing a program and you get the wizard, and it kind of like guides you through the steps. This is very much like that, something that can show users the optimal configuration for Ethereum staking nodes, and it's all done through a web UI. And it covers both the execution and consensus layer nodes, which are your 2 most essential pieces. And then the third piece of software you'll be running is the SSV node. But I think, this is a very cool work from them and very, very, very helpful tool. I'm keen to see how that pans out.
Yeah, that's very exciting stuff.
And I'm sure you guys have heard about Staketogether, also very cool. They're busy developing a non-custodial staking pool protocol for DAOs, influencers, communities, like a multifaceted thing. Like I said, it's a non-custodial based on ssv.network tech, so they're using our infrastructure to build it. And its protocol is essentially focused on influencers, communities, and DAOs, and it'll allow them to stake any amount of ETH and receive rewards for participating in staking pools. But the primary objective is to provide a product that communities can use to generate earnings through staking. One of the main reasons is that it helps you to explore and find and connect these different communities. Or if you wish to support a community, it's kind of like an easier way to do that. And then obviously the staking end of that, where they receive CETH. And they can delegate the rewards to support communities. I think there are like multiple interesting use cases that can come from something like this.
Yeah, sounds awesome. I also, before we move on to the next section I was going to cover, proposals. I think we could give, do we have Ivan here? I think we just had Ivan. We've got, hi Ivan.
Hi guys.
Would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, so my name is Ivan. I joined Blocks recently, and I will be handling the position of the DAO relations lead, and hopefully be able to provide a lot of sort of info and workflows when it comes to how everything in the DAO is being structured, all of the committees, try to streamline our processes, and be part of the community as much as I can.
Sounds awesome. So what do you think? Do you have like a key focus, key action points that you're looking to I suppose like develop things over the next few months?
specifically, we're looking at a lot of the legal stuff when it comes to the DAO itself and all of the committees. Just try to be as compliant as possible, and also try and provide as much value to the community as we can. So specific focus, everything DAO related, not to sort of pinpoint it, but everything that has to do with the community and the DAO, I'll likely be a part of that, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice to have you.
All right, thank you, Ivan. Looking forward to working with you more going forward.
I'm sure. I mean, he'll be taking part in some of the cool DAO-related activities. I mean, we always like to hear a cool perspective.
Yep. Dr. Sinding.
Nice.
Okay, so continuing then with the agenda, the next one is the quorum proposal. So there's been a proposal. Well, basically right now, the quorum requires 5% of the circulating supply. And there is a proposal to reduce that to 3% of supply. I think that's quite an interesting proposal. I mean, it's, you've got plus and minus, haven't you? It can make things a bit easier, but what do we think about making things easier, right? We obviously want to get enough consensus as well on decisions. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how people vote for that one. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen quite a bit of participation in the thread. People, sharing their perspectives on this. But personally, I think it's a bit of a good step to help us, make certain like passing votes a bit easier, not much easier. Even though our previous 3 votes hit quorum, but usually it's quite a bit of a story. So I think making that more accessible and making, people feel maybe that the quorum might be too difficult to reach. I don't know. So I think it's a step in the right direction to improve participation and to get people, voting, and to make sure that we get important votes passed.
Yeah, I agree 100. Okay, so we've got some upcoming events that we're getting involved in. There is a side event at ETHCC, and that's staking soiree. We will have another one as well. We've got Marco in Ether. I believe he's also speaking there too. So the staking soiree is a panel event. We'll have Alan, and there'll also be people from Eigenlayer, Lido Finance, Signum, Official. So it's going to be an awesome talk.
Yeah, some big names there talking about some really interesting stuff. Had a brief look at the talking points for that, and they are definitely going to be covering some really interesting topics. I mean, you have restaking there, you have digital asset management there, you have DVT there, and then obviously you have Lido, which is the staking service at the moment. And they're going to be talking about a lot of interesting things. So I think you guys should stay tuned. We're making some plans to see if we can possibly do a little space before that, maybe have some of those guys join us, but we'll definitely confirm with the community as we get closer to the date. But I think that's a very, very exciting thing to come up in the next week or so.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to Marco if you have any plans to go to ETHCC. Guess it'd be great to meet up with anybody who's going, basically, and just get the SSV gang together.
Yeah. So I mean, besides for the events, when we look a bit outside of SSV, there's been quite a cool few things happening in the ETH industry right now at the moment. Last week we saw the Beacon chain reaching 20% of all Ether staked. This is really impressive, considering we've been hitting so many major milestones now, like all-time high of validators entering. It's really exciting stuff. And one of the major things here is also to have a good distribution of clients and of nodes geographically. So I think having more validators joining in first is a good step, and then the step after that is making sure they're distributed. that's why we're here, obviously.
Definitely.
And yeah, I think if you guys want to check out, have a look at Heal Dobby's ETH2 staking Dune dashboard. Lots of really interesting info there if you guys are not aware.
Awesome stuff, yeah. And related to that is there's a new execution client that we've come across, RETH, which has had its alpha released. But this is awesome because, again, as we're saying, having more clients helps to diversify the network, helps to add redundancy and to have a more, a stronger ecosystem, basically, overall for everyone. So yeah, lots of good news coming out this week.
For sure. I think client diversity is one of the big things at the moment. Well, there are many big things, but I think having more clients that people can, use on their validators to distribute that, not risk, but I mean, having one client go down. The beauty about DVT, I mean, so the beauty of DVT also is, being able to run your validator with, with 4 different clients, depending on your setup. But I mean, if you have 4 different execution clients, 4 different consensus clients, I mean, the odds of your validator going down is being reduced dramatically. So I think just having more clients out there using DVT, I think it all just spells a much more stable Ethereum network. Yeah. So one of the other important things that's recently happened, well, not recently happened, but an interesting metric that we've seen is that over 90% of the blocks produced right now have gone through MEV. This shows the importance of MEV, and that everyone is definitely into this this way of producing blocks and being able to improve their rewards and increase the value. And one of the things that we realized as an open protocol is giving people access to MEV. So one of the things that we're busy testing right now is actually implementing MEV into SSV. And it's very, very, very interesting. The intersection of MEV and DVT. We'll be releasing a blog post pretty soon on that to detail basically how the process works and just to give a high-level overview of how we'll be implementing it into the protocol. But as a quick kind of snippet, perhaps, SSV is an open protocol, which means that we are a layer that people come in and they can use the technology, and we want to make sure that we're supplying all the functionalities that a normal client would have. So when you come into the network, essentially you'd be able to look at operators. You can see, okay, these operators are MEV enabled, which relays they're using. I know a lot of people have different ways of looking at this, so either for profit or would you rather choose an ethical relay? I think those are really important, but just giving access to our users to actually participate in MEV while still benefiting from DVT is quite important, and I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome. So yeah, and again, something else in the works that's currently being tested that everyone can look forward to getting involved with once it gets released. So awesome stuff. Like I said, there's so much happening here right now. So we've got so much to talk about, to share with you all, and it's just going to increase with time. There's so much going on, so it's really awesome. So let's move over to, let's see if we've got any questions. Let me open this up. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions, you can share them in the chat, or you could raise your hand and I can bring you up on stage as well. Right, Dean has shared this MEV plus DVT. So if you want to learn more about it, you can follow that link.
Yeah, that's the ethereum.org link. So if you don't know what MEV is yet, definitely go brush up on that. It's a good article, and they give some good explanations there.
So Jazz Kama has asked, could you tell a bit more about the 2 latest releases? What was the root cause of the issue? I'm not sure there's an issue. I think as far as I'm aware, we're just gradually releasing these, testing things, and just building upon that, you know, each time. Jason had some issues.
Yeah, so yeah, I think as far as we understand that, you know, we do some internal testing, and we do have people that, there Adam goes. I think if we can have a developer answer your question, it would be, I think, a lot more relevant for you than the
Marketing
less
guys,
technical
yeah.
minded, shall we say. Right. So any other questions though, while we wait to get a response on the previous question?
Okay, I think we're all good then. So any things we want to mention going forward? You know, we've got some big events. There's, like we said, we're looking to ideally get you know, set up a Twitter Spaces next week. This is what we're hoping to do for the staking soiree. I said we've got some big announcements coming up in a few weeks. Don't want to say too much, but yeah, some big things that are coming out very soon. New releases, you know, it's all happening right now. So exciting times. Things are happening. So yeah,
For sure. I think we have the next phase coming in the next few weeks. We'll definitely share more details about that soon, but that is very, very exciting. It's basically the next step. And yeah, I think everyone should stay tuned, and we'll definitely be releasing a lot of info via Twitter, the blog, Discord, and then obviously the weekly AMAs, well, information sessions.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right,
So
everyone, I think that's everything then, right? So we'll get back to Jazz Kamer when we get hold of a developer, and we'll keep you, you know, get the answer that you need for that. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming or for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. So,
Same.
bye-bye.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye-bye.